As we mentioned before we went to break, tensions are rising in South Asia. 2 weeks after Pakistan administered Kashmir, they're not the same thing. And to put it mildly, they're parts of points of friction between the two countries. And overnight, these two nuclear-armed neighbors exchanged gunfire. Our Chanel Call spoke with the Indian ambassador to the United States for more perspective. And here's part of that conversation.
So, Ambassador, let's talk about what happened in the last 24 hours, because yesterday you said the Indian government is seeking de-escalation. Then, of course, overnight, Pakistan launched their own attack on India, and then India fired right back. So is de-escalation still on the table, or is India now at war with Pakistan?
Sure. So what happened was, after we launched our attacks on these terrorist facilities in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir day before yesterday, at that time itself, we had made it very clear publicly, as also to our interlocutors in the US and the world over to our partners, that there was terrorist attack on India on 22nd April where innocent civilians were killed. We have carried out a response to that. That was the original escalation, original trigger. We have carried out our response to that day before yesterday. And we were clear that insofar as our response to terrorism is concerned, that part was closed at that time. Until, of course, we did say that if Pakistan chooses to carry out any further escalation into our territory in support of terrorists, I think yesterday what Pakistan did actually conveys a very clear signal to all of us and to the rest of the world that they actually stand with the terrorist, not with the rest of the civilized world. So when they did yesterday a small action to engage our military, we carried out a proportionate response to that. I'll repeat that, proportionate and measured response. That's what it was day before yesterday to the terror attacks, where we very deliberately and consciously excluded the military facilities, excluded the economic infrastructure, excluded the social infrastructure. We were very, very careful about that. We were very measured and responsible about what we did day before yesterday. But yesterday, when Pakistan and terrorists tried to engage our military facilities, we carried out, again, a proportionate response to that yesterday. So we have always, we didn't start this. It was started by the terrorists on 22nd April. We did respond to those terrorists, excluding military, economic, social infrastructure. Pakistan tried to engage some of our military facilities yesterday, and we carried out a proportionate response yesterday.
But at what point does the escalation back and forth become a war?
I think you have to ask those who carried out the original escalation. From our side, I've repeatedly mentioned, just now, that when we carried out our action day before yesterday, there was that degree of finality to our action to the extent it was aimed at the terrorists. But then if Pakistan decided to escalate yesterday along with those terrorists, then naturally we had to respond. Day before yesterday, we exercised our right to respond. And that was, as I said, final. But if Pakistan chooses not to see that as a finality, then that's a question I think you need to direct to them.
So then let me ask this, Ambassador. What is India's objective here?
Our objective is basically to neutralize the terrorist and convey a very clear message to Pakistan. And I think the rest of the world is also conveying that to Pakistan. This morning, we understand from a readout of Secretary Rubio's call with the Pakistani Prime Minister that they have also conveyed, they have called upon Pakistan to stop their support to the terrorist attacks from their side. So I think our objective is very clear. Our objective is to hold terrorists accountable and bring justice to the victims. Our action day before yesterday was about bringing accountability to the terrorists and bringing justice to the victim. That's what it was about, and that's what is our objective.
So, Ambassador, if the objective is to target the terrorist camps, the terrorist sites, are there more of these sites that India is aware of? Are more attacks imminent?
Yeah. Look, I will not be able to speak to the operational details about what else is available with us and what exactly might happen in days and weeks ahead. But I will repeat, and maybe I'll add a point of amplification for you. Everybody seems to have a frame of reference in which escalation is a predominant aspect. People keep saying that Pakistan is denying that they ever were behind these. Look, Pakistan has a long history of supporting terrorism, not just cross-border terrorism that is aimed at India, but also, frankly, terror at other destinations across the world.
Chanel Call joins me now. Chanel, so good to have you with us. Great work on this. It's a super important story. From your engagement with the ambassador, you're reporting any signs of an off-ramp here?
Well, Major, it does appear as though there was a lot of international attention on this, and we've heard from President Donald Trump. The White House is watching this closely, and they would like to see some de-escalation here. In fact, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been speaking with folks on both sides of this, in India and in Pakistan. Today, we know he spoke to Pakistan's prime minister, but it appears as though the U.S. is sort of towing a line here. They're asking both sides to find a way to create a peaceful resolution. But at this point, Major, it doesn't appear either side are backing down.
Every administration I've covered worried about these two countries and escalation. So I know it's a big story. You can't get to all of it, but briefly help our audience understand the complicated history between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, it is a long and complicated history, Major. It all started in 1947. That's when British rule ended in India, and then this partition happened where India and Pakistan became two different countries. India, majority Hindu, and Pakistan, majority Muslim. But this area where the terror attack happened 2 weeks ago, Kashmir, this remained a flashpoint between the two countries. And if you haven't been there, this used to be a tourist hotspot. I've been there myself, and I can tell you, Major, there are hills and valleys. It's a mountainous region. Bollywood movies were filmed there often. This remained a very contentious area. Both sides have fought multiple wars over the years over Kashmir. Tens of thousands of people have died. So many people have been displaced.
Chanel Call, thank you very much. And just for the benefit of the audience, we are very hopeful to have the